American military installations in Europe are under imminent threat of a terror attack. I say that because over the weekend, several American military bases across Europe were put on a heightened state of alert. In fact, they are currently at FPCON Charlie. What is FPCON Charlie, you ask? It stands for Forced Protection Condition. According to the US Army, FPCON Charlie is a state of alert that is implemented when an incident occurs or intelligence is received that some form of terrorist action will take place or any personnel or facilities will be targeted. This is to ensure readiness and rapid response capabilities against any potential threats in the region, and it is designed basically to counter terrorists or other hostile adversaries. Its threat levels are designated as normal: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie and Delta. Charlie and Delta are the highest states of alert. On Sunday, the US Army Garrison in Germany, where the US European Command or EUCOM is headquartered, issued the community-wide alert level for FPCON Charlie. As per reports, one US military facility in Western Germany even told some members to not wear their uniform off base or commute in civilian clothing. Now, this is big. It's because this is the second highest state of alert, and it raises some crucial questions. What triggered this response? Who is conspiring against the US military in Europe? What is the level of threat that has the US Army worried? As per recent news reports, US officials are worried. They say that such a threat level has not been seen in at least 10 years. And this escalated state usually indicates that the military has received an active and reliable threat. But what intelligence have they really gathered? We don't know, and the US European Command will not tell. In fact, the US European Command has been quite reserved in sharing details about the situation. However, they mentioned to American news outlets that they are constantly assessing various factors that impact the safety of US military communities abroad. And as part of this effort, they often take additional steps to ensure the safety of service members. For operational security reasons, they did not provide specific measures but emphasized their continued vigilance. At the moment, the specific intelligence that has caused concern has not been disclosed by the US European Command. Garrison officials in Stuttgart said that a variety of services would not be available because of the increased threat level from Sunday until further notice. Some of those reduced services included access to some eateries and on-post barber shops. Service members and others should anticipate significant delays at gate entry points because of increased security, according to the alerts. Military community members have been instructed to report any suspicious activity, monitor State Department travel advisories, and take precautions to minimize personal risk. Naturally, there is uncertainty surrounding the intelligence that triggered the heightened security measures. But European authorities have reportedly warned of a potential terror threat across the continent. Now, it's worth noting that Europe is about to host two major events: the Paris Olympics and the current European Football Championships in Germany. France is taking no chances ahead of the upcoming Olympic Games. They have raised their national security alert system to the highest level, in fact. French authorities are actively monitoring terrorist threats from organized groups and radicalized individuals. They warn that attacks targeting tourist locations, major sporting and cultural events, as well as other public areas that attract large numbers of civilians, may occur with little or no warning. Meanwhile, the German government has also stepped up security by bringing in 580 international police officers to assist with the efforts alongside German officers. They are preparing for all conceivable dangers, from Islamist terror to violent criminals and hooligans. Remember, Europe is currently in the midst of a war in Ukraine. During a summit in 2022, US President Joe Biden announced plans to deploy additional air defense, logistics, and engineer assets in Germany. Additionally, he announced that air defense capabilities will be added to forces in Italy. It was all part of America's response to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Since the war started, tensions between NATO countries and Russia have continued. NATO leaders have increasingly warned that direct conflict with Moscow is a realistic danger. And against the backdrop of increased tensions between NATO and Russia, as well as ongoing nuclear saber-rattling, there has been a significant increase in U.S. military presence in Europe. Over 100,000 U.S. service members are now stationed across the continent, and this includes the establishment of a permanent headquarters for the U.S. 5th Army Corps in Poland that is aimed at improving command and control, interoperability with NATO allies, and overall defensive readiness. Let's not forget the multiple conflicts in West Asia. You see, since the war broke out in Gaza after October 7, U.S. military officials have been warning about the possibility of a terror attack against the U.S., either at home or abroad. And this is mostly as a result of its support of Israel in its war with Hamas. Earlier this month, FBI Director Christopher Wray, in his opening testimony before the Senate, warned, "We have seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole new level after October 7. He warned that since the war broke out, Rogues Gallery of foreign terrorist organizations call for attacks against Americans and our allies. Given those calls for action, he warned that America's most immediate concern has been that individuals or small groups will draw twisted inspiration from the events in West Asia and carry out attacks on American soil. He specifically mentioned the potential for a coordinated attack in the homeland, akin to the ISIS Khorasan attack we saw at the Russia concert hall in March. And with all that's going on, is the American military in Europe then preparing for a war? Why else would this level of threat be issued? Who is planning to attack the US military, if at all? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.